Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IAS. As you know, we are covering the previous year question papers of UPSC preliminary examination through this series of discussion. So today we are going to cover Indian polity. Now let us discuss the topics that we are going to discuss in today's session. We are going to cover the parliamentary form of government, then we will understand about welfare state, then we will understand about judicial doctrines, and we will look into the bureaucracy, and we will try to learn about the preamble of the Constitution of India through questions. Okay, so if we discuss about the syllabus, okay, so these questions are relevant from the prelims point of view, where in the syllabus UPSC has mentioned that Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, panchayati raj, public policy, and rights issues, etc. So this is the syllabus as mentioned in the UPSC, okay, notification. So now let us take the first question for the day. So this question reads, a parliamentary system of government is one in which, okay, options are option A, all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. Okay, this is not the case. You know, like in Indian constitution, or like whenever government is formed, you know, in most of the cases all the parties are not represented. So this is not a, this is not a feature of a parliamentary system of government. Okay, let us take the second statement, or second option. It says that the government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Yes, this is a correct option for this question, because like in a parliamentary system of government, the government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. What do we mean by this? We mean that, like, the council of ministers are collectively responsible to the house of people, means they are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Okay, if the Lok Sabha does not have a confidence in the council of minister, then any MP from the Lok Sabha can initiate a no confidence motion. But like for initiation of a no confidence motion, they need support of at least 50 member of parliament, okay, from the Lok Sabha itself. And if they get support, then it can be initiated. If it is passed, then the government will have to resign, then the government falls. So the thing is, the government is responsible to the parliament, okay, and the government can be removed by the parliament itself. Okay, so this is the right option. Let us also read the option C and option D. Option C says that the government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. Yes, government is elected by the people, but like people do not directly take part into removing the government. So it is done by the representatives, by people's representatives who are member of parliament. Okay, now let us take option D. It says that the government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before completion of a fixed term. So there is no fixed term for the for the government in the center or in the states, because like they have to continuously have the majority support. Okay, that's the thing. So correct answer for this question is option B. Okay, so now let us take the next question for the day. Let us read this question. Which part of the Constitution of India declares the ideal of welfare state? Okay, so options are option A, directive principles of state policy, option B, fundamental rights, option C, preamble, option D, seventh schedule. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is option A, which is directive principles of state policy. Why? Because we know that, like, the principle of welfare state, okay, is mentioned, okay, or is an integral part of the DPSPs itself. So if we talk about the directive principles of state policy, okay, DPSP, they are mentioned in part 4 of the Constitution. They are mentioned in part 4 from articles, okay, from articles 36 to 51. Okay, so DPSPs are a comprehensive social, economic, and political program for a modern and welfare state. Okay, so what are DPSPs? DPSPs are comprehensive social, economic, and political program for a modern and welfare state. And DPSPs embody the concept of welfare state, which was absent during the colonial era. Okay, so correct answer for this question is option A. Okay, now let us talk about the next question for the day. This question says, consider the following statements. Statement 1, the Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights, and democracy. Okay, so if you have read the Constitution of India, or if you have read any of the books of on polity, then you are aware that Constitution of India nowhere defines, it does not define the basic structure of the Constitution. Okay, so the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution was brought by the judiciary, by the Supreme Court of India. Okay, so it was brought by, under the Keshwanand Bharati case versus state of Kerala in 1973. Okay, so in that case, the Supreme Court of India has pronounced about doctrine of basic structure. So it is not defined in the Constitution of India, and it is not defined by the judiciary as well. Okay, so it is not defined anywhere. Let us take the next statement. It says that the Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the citizens' liberties and to preserve the ideals on which the Constitution is based. Okay, so this is a right statement. Why? Because like if we read, okay, if we read Article 13 Clause 2 of the Constitution of India, we'll get to know that Article Clause 2 of the Constitution of India says about says that like article says, or it prescribes that the union or the state shall not make any law that takes away or abridges any of the fundamental rights, and any law made in contravention of the aforementioned mandate shall be to the extent of contravention be void. It simply means that like it prohibits the Parliament of India or state legislatures in making any law that contravenes, okay, the the topics that are included in the fundamental rights. Okay, so they should not take away or abridge any of the fundamental rights. If in any law there are certain provisions and those provisions take away or contravenes any of the fundamental right, so those portions of the law will be void. Okay, so so this is the thing. So that's why statement 2 is correct. So the doctrine of judicial review, it comes from Article 13 of the Constitution of India itself. Article 13 in itself is a part of the fundamental right. So thus the Constitution itself provides for the judicial review to safeguard the citizens' liberties and rights. Okay, so which of the statements given above is or are correct? We have to find out the correct answer. So correct option is option B, only 2. Okay, so now having understood this, let us now move to the next question for the day. Okay, so this question reads, in the context of India, which one of the following characteristics, which one of the following is the characteristic appropriate for bureaucracy? Okay, so now they are saying like which of these are characteristics that are appropriate for bureaucracy. Let us see one by one. Option A says an agency for widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. Okay, so this bureaucracy does not have to do anything directly with the widening the scope of parliamentary democracy. Okay, so the thing is, it may be somewhere mentioned under the clauses where like we have Election Commission of India. Okay, so Election Commission of India has a mandate to conduct free and fair election. So by conducting free and fair election, it actually widens the scope of parliamentary democracy. Okay, so this may be one of the things. So it is not a part for bureaucracy. Now if we talk about option B, an agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. Okay, this is also not correct. Why it is not correct? Because as you know that the officers of the civil services like bureaucracy, they are they are appointed by the central government and they actually work in the states. So what they are working in the states, but like they are appointed, they are controlled by the central government. So the thing is, they have a centralizing tendency. So they are not strengthening the structure of federalism. Okay, this is the thing. Let us take option C. It says an agency for facilitating political stability and economic growth. Okay, so the thing is, bureaucracy does not have to do anything with facilitation of political stability. Okay, so the thing is, political stability of the government is done, okay, by the government if they hold the majority support in the Parliament of India. Okay, so if they do not have majority support in the Parliament of India, the government will not be stable. Okay, so political stability is not ensured by the bureaucracy. Okay, although like bureaucracy helps in economic growth, how they can effectively implement the policies that are made by the member of parliaments or by the ministers. Okay, they can implement it effectively. Okay, let us see option D. It says an agency for the implementation of public policy. Yes, this is the right answer. Bureaucracy is an agency for the implementation of public policy, and at the same time, bureaucracy constitutes of uh, professionals, and they are permanent and salaried people. Okay, and they are part of the executive organ of the government, and the bureaucracy in itself is a politically neutral. Okay, they are politically neutral. So the thing is, option C was incorrect. That's why. And they are there for public policy implementation. Okay, they facilitate the effective working of different government departments. Okay, so they work under the control and leadership of the ministers, right? So that's why option D is correct. Okay, option D is correct for this particular question. Okay, now let us talk about the next question for the day. It says the preamble of the Constitution of India is, okay, there are four options. Option A part of the Constitution but has no legal effect. Yes, it is a part of Constitution but has no legal effect. Yes, this is right, but we are also going to see other parts also. We have to find out the most appropriate answer. Okay, option B says not a part of the Constitution and has no legal effect. It is a part of the Constitution. Okay, option C says part of the Constitution and has the same legal effect as any other part of the Constitution. No, it is not the case. Okay, let us see option D, a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. This is the most appropriate one. Okay, although the first one was correct, but it was partially correct. The most appropriate and most correct answer is option D. Okay, so preamble is a part of the, okay, it is a part of the Constitution, but they do not have independent legal effect. Why? Because like a preamble of the Constitution is a preface, or it is an introduction for the Constitution. Okay, it contains the ideals, objectives and basic principles of the Constitution. Okay, so like you might have read the Keshwananda Bharati case, okay, of 1973, where the Supreme Court of India has opined, like it has given opinion that preamble is a part of the Constitution. Okay, and Supreme Court has said that preamble is not a source of power. Okay, or it does not prohibit, okay, any authority in exercising their power. Okay, so it is neither a source of power, not a source of any kind of prohibition. Okay, so under Keshwananda Bharati case, Supreme Court of India has said like it is a part of the Constitution. Okay, and the same thing was reiterated by the Constitution, by the Supreme Court in the Union Government versus LIC of India case of 1995. Okay, in that case, the Supreme Court has opined that the preamble is an integral part of the Constitution, but is not directly enforceable in a court of law in India. Okay, so like you have to read about Keshwananda Bharati case, Keshwananda Bharati case. Okay, Bharati versus State of Kerala. Okay, State of Kerala 1973. Okay, that was one case. Keshwananda Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973. There was Union government. Okay, Union government versus LIC of India case. Okay, LIC of India case 1995. Okay, so if you read both these pronouncement of the Supreme Court, okay, then you will come to know that like preamble is an integral part of the Constitution of India, but they do not have any independent legal effect. Okay, so preamble can be read along with other provisions of the Constitution of India. Okay, other provisions means it can be read with the fundamental rights, it can be read with the DPSPs, it can be read with other provisions of the Constitution of India. Okay, as you know that like DPSP is also not directly enforceable in a court of law. Okay, so that's why correct answer for this question is option D. Okay, option D is the right answer for this question. So that's all that I had to discuss with you for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending this session. I hope you have a great day ahead. Thank you.